my dock has an upstairs deck, 1 story above the actual dock. And it's cool, but the floor has become severely weathered and in places kind of rotten. And nobody's fallen through yet, but it was clear if this area was going to be used and nothing done about it, somebody would put a foot through it at some point in the near future. So I'm replacing all the boards. And the interesting thing about repairing an existing structure is it's one thing to build a new structure, especially if you've got plans. But if you're repairing an existing structure, it means you have to take the structure apart, at least part way. And nails and things, fasteners, tend not to want to come back out as easy as they went in. And in this case, the area has to be cleaned, especially with regards to this nail, where the head of the nail pulled off when I was trying to remove the nail. And a new board won't lay flat with that nail standing up, so the nail either has to be pulled out or bent over and hammered flush with the wood below. See, this nail was hardly holding anything because the board had cracked as it weathered. And that doesn't mean that the nail isn't in there good, though. Now that it's straight, I can use the claw of the hammer and pull it right out. But each nail has its own little peculiarity and its own little struggle that makes it unique among all the other nails in the deck. And there are well over 100 nails in the deck that will have to be dealt with one way or another. Most of the time I win. There are some times when the nail wins. And it's very repetitious. Except the times when there's struggle. So I suppose the struggle is what makes each part of the job unique and different from the rest. And once you've pulled out enough nails, then you can remove a board. And one of the things that I always like about the demolition part of remodels is demolition is like picking a fight with a guy that's a whole lot bigger than you, but the other guy is really drunk at the time. And so you know you're going to win in the end, but lots of entertaining stuff is going to happen in the middle. So I'm temporarily storing all the weathered wood that I'm taking off the deck on the lower dock. And eventually I want to sort through it and see how much of it is sturdy enough to be used, or at least part of the length of the board used in some other structures, and how much of it can maybe be used in temporary structures like forms or molds, and how much of it is so rotten that it gets cut into pieces small enough to fit in my wood-burning stove and heats the house in the winter. And so, removing one nail after the other gets so repetitious and boring that I try different editing tricks to make it different and maybe continue to be entertaining. And the part with struggle, I mean, that's got to be entertaining, right? So you want that. And every time I get rid of the board, I can clean the spot, and then I can put in a new board. And another board. And one board at a time. The deck slowly works its way. At some point, I became so bored that I started trying to get close-ups of removing nails. That one had the head pop off. And I also found that if you remove a couple boards and don't put a new one down, you have a bench to rest on for a while. And there went my bench. Oh, this is a good pull, right? That's what you want. Just get the head of the nail up where the hammer claw can get it, and out it comes. And another board. And each one is unique in its own way. And another board. So this is how I was setting up to make close-ups of pulling out nails. The tripod has legs that can spread straight out to the side, so the camera can be very low. And I put the hammer on one side and the little crowbar on the other side of the nail that I want to work on. And that makes it easy for me to use the viewfinder and find the right nail head. And then I can zoom in on it and frame it so that it's just a little area around the nail head. And then I can go try and pull the nail out. See, that's how you pull the head off of a nail. This one too. I can tell the head's gonna break. Yep. Well, that's a good pull. See, there's a little hollow in the crowbar, a little forked hollow spot where the head of the nail can catch. Oh, that was exciting and different. Anything to make the video seem less monotonous and boring. So this is the upstairs deck above the boathouse, and it only covers the half of the dock that's been rebuilt downstairs, and this other half of the dock is still the way it was, well, for the most part. And yeah, that's falling down in the water. Nothing there is good except for the two pilings, really. And the dock below here, that direction is south, right? So the sun always shines through here and onto the dock below. So if we want shade for the downstairs dock, we need to cover at least much of this. And I don't know, I'm building deck. It just seemed reasonable to extend the upstairs deck out to the end there.